Yeah, you have a pretty extensive background in terms of international development. It sounds like you've been in it in the majority of your career, if not all of it. And I would just love to know, in the amount of time that you've been in this sector, could you share an insight or a lesson that you've learned from all of your years of working in this sector and as well as becoming a social entrepreneur?
Yes, from my 15 years of experience of working in the development sector, starting from a local nonprofit organization, then progressing to an international, and then in the end at the UN system, and now vis-a-vis with as my role as a social entrepreneur. What I have learned from working with people is that people are part of the solution. The people we work with, the people we envision to empower, know what their challenges are, know what their problems are, and know what the solutions are. And the solutions lies with them, in them. And I think it's good attitude to go to the people and to ask them what is it that they need, but not just what they need, but what opportunities do they have. Every society has its needs, its problems, challenges, as well as opportunities. So if we would go with an attitude of listening, of wanting to understand, of wanting to know, not with an attitude of, I want to do this for you, but let's try to find the solution together. There's always the solution. The solution always lies with the community. I will give you an example of a very interesting project that we used to do with the YWC of Ethiopia. I think it's also currently running, but it's an approach which some nonprofit organizations are pursuing in Ethiopia. The project is called the Self-Help Group. And I will explain a little bit. And from the examples I will give you, I'll try to come up with a conclusion. The project goes to the community with a participatory rapid assessment method. Community workers meet with the community, come together, and they ask the community to say, to ask them if they would like to get organized. So the community themselves, the people, they come together and they get organized in small 10 to 15 groups of people who live in the same community, in the same geographic region, who are of the same economic background. And then with intensive follow-up, community workers gather these 10 or 15 groups of women, and they sit with them every week. And these community workers, they empower these groups to discuss issues that are relevant to their lives. They also encourage them to start saving. The saving could be as small as 2 bir, 3 bir, which is such a small amount of money. But when they come together to pool their resources, economic resources, their money together, when they discuss issues together, they become empowered. And from that weekly discussion, weekly saving, they start also to build a small bank. And they, from the bank, within their access, they can start their own business. What the community workers sometimes would give them is a little bit training on how to do business, how to save money, financial literacy, budgeting, business literacy, and so on. Then they develop the inspiration of wanting to do business by borrowing from their own small savings they have brought together. And this, for me, shows me, and I have seen so many beneficiaries and many successful women who have started so small, by borrowing from their own local bank of women's group to starting an initiative that not only benefits their family, but also their community. They will later on, as they grow, as they become inspired, become empowered to become advocates, they would go to the government and ask for their rights. They would go to their locality to say, we want schools for our children. We want lights for our community. We want so they start demanding for their own rights. So they become their own voice. They become their own agents of transformation. So what this shows me is that make the people be agents of their own agents of voice. They have a voice. Let them use it. Mm-hmm. So just show them the way. Mm-hmm. Give them a little bit of a capacity. It's not so much of finances, but a holistic approach of finding their own voice, of finding expressing what their needs are. So people know what they need. They don't necessarily want us to come and to tell them, this is what you want, this is what you have to do, this is what we will offer you. People know what they need, and the solution lies in the community. And I would say, listen and listen and listen. That would be my reflection from working in the international development field and now becoming a social entrepreneur.